home in Seattle got 23 offers last week. We're gonna talk about that and a whole lot more in this video. We're gonna look at the number of new listings that hit the market, the homes that buyers put under contract, talk about interest rates, and if you make it to the end, I'll show you some of my favorite new listings. So hit subscribe to keep your finger on the pulse of Seattle real estate. Hey, I'm Matt Goyer, Seattle area real estate agent. I've helped lots of people buy and sell homes over the years. My contact info is below. Feel free to reach out. But we've got a lot to dig into this week. Let's go. So to start with, we're going to look at the number of new listings that hit the market last week. Here's a graph showing that and comparing it to years past. So we saw 241 new listings last week. This was down 7% week over week. And the reason we saw a decline is that last week was the week leading up to Seattle Public Schools spring break, which is this week. And so a lot of sellers, at the advice of their listing agents, aren't going to be listing their homes ahead of Easter weekend as it leads into Seattle Public Schools spring break, because there's going to be lots of people, potential buyers, out on vacation. So that's why we saw a decline in the number of new listings. When we look at this week, we're going to see that there's not going to be a lot of new listings hitting the market this week either, but expect that the week of April 17th, we will see a lot more new listings hit the market. So if you're a buyer, a little bit of a breather this week, but if one of your dream homes hits the market, you should move fast because your competition hopefully is out of town. So here's a look at the new listings that did hit the market last week. At the high end, we have this $10 million estate, 7,300 square feet. It's got a pool, pretty incredible. Here's a waterfront home. This is actually a relist, but new listing for it. What else caught my eye? We'll talk about this a little later. One of my favorite new listings, a floating home in Eastlake. Another amazing home here, another floating home. So lots of great listings, actually, surprisingly, for a week that was quiet, is quiet. But now let's talk about the homes going under contract. So here's a look at the number of homes that buyers put under contract last year, comparing it to years past. So buyers put 222 homes under contract last week. Big jump up. This is a 13% increase week over week. You know, as we've talked about the last couple of videos, the last 3-4 weeks have been pretty flat. So nice to see buyers re-engaging. But given that we expect, or that we saw that the number of new listings was slow last week, and we think it's gonna be slow this week, I expect this number to decline probably for the next 2 weeks. And then it'll pick up as inventory picks up. The number of homes going under contract typically lags new listings by about a week. Here's a look at the homes that those buyers were putting under contract. So the high end, a $3.5 million home went pending in 6 days, $2.8 million home pending in 3, and then some homes that have been on the market. All of these 3, all a little bit longer. Interesting collection of homes that buyers are snapping up ahead of spring break. But let's talk about bidding wars. So before we get to the super crazy one, let's talk about this home in Sandpoint that had 9 offers on it. We actually had a client offer on this home. They met us through our YouTube channel. We met them, we showed them this home earlier in the week and put an offer in. Unfortunately, it had 9 offers on it and is pending. It sounded like around 20% over its asking price. I was a little surprised to see this home get bid up as high as it did. The home needed some cosmetic remodeling, a little bit of a funky floor plan with only 1 bedroom on the top floor and 2 bedrooms on the main floor. But it's clear that there hasn't been a lot of single family homes hitting the market in this area, and lots of buyers were excited to offer on this one. But the one I really wanted to show you is this one that had 23 offers on it. This is a home on Queen Anne. It was listed at $725,000, which is crazy. I mean, how often do we even see single family homes on Queen Anne for under $1 million, never mind for $700,000? So kind of no surprise it had a lot of offers. Sounded like it went for 25% over asking, so sold for $900-something thousand, which actually isn't that crazy for Queen Anne. You know, the value of the land here, this land is probably worth a lot even without the house on it. So this is a bit of an exceptional bidding war, but it just shows you how many buyers are out there for single family homes under $1 million on Queen Anne. That's a hot market. However, what I want you to keep in mind is not all homes are getting bidding wars. If you want a home that's not going to have a bidding war, do a search on whatever your favorite site is, Redfin, Zillow, our site, and look for homes that have been on the market for longer than 7 days. We did this on Redfin just now. There are over 1,000 homes that have been on the market for more than 7 days. These homes are likely not going to be competitive if you're offering on them. So the vast majority of homes that are on the market right now are not going to get 23 offers. That's an exceptional case, but gets you to watch videos like this. But there are many opportunities here for you to write what I'd call a very buyer-friendly offer on a home with no competition. And if you want to learn how to write offers and what goes into a competitive offer, what goes into an offer that's been on for a home that's been on the market for a long time, we have a home buying class coming up. Check the link out below. Sign up for that. We talk about how to win in a competitive case and negotiate a big discount for homes that have been sitting on the market. Now, what about interest rates? Well, interest rates were super volatile last week. At one point we're seeing rates in the mid sixes. At one point they dropped down to the low sixes, 6.18. And then just more recently, to start this week off, they bounced back up into the mid sixes. So super frustrating to be a buyer right now and have so much volatility on rates. It would be nice if rates could just make up their mind. Are they going to be high? Are they going to be low? And just stick to it. Okay, my favorite homes of the week. So here's a mid-century home. This one's down in Federal Way, so a little further afield than we normally look, but super cool mid-century house with a view. Lots of nice cedar paneling, a cool sort of sunken conversation area with a fire pit, exposed wood, cool staircase, another fireplace. I really dig it. I like this home. Okay, what's next? Here's a mid-century home that caught my eye because it's got a pool and palm trees. It certainly does not feel like pool and palm tree weather right now in Seattle, but in a couple months you will wish you had a home with a pool. So that's why we're taking a look at this one. All right, here's a look at some floating homes. So here's one that hit the market for $4.75 million in Eastlake, just a little bit south of me. This is a big floating home. It's got 3 bedrooms, all with en suites, 2,200 square feet. This is on a newer dock. It's a newer build, concrete float. Really nice place. Would be a great place for summer. Faces south, gets lots of light. It's cool. Floating home life is awesome in the summers. Here's another floating home. This one was actually on the market last year, didn't sell, but hit the market again this spring. So this one's also in Eastlake. This is a little bit north of the floating home I live on. This one also faces south. Tie your boat up right outside your bedroom here. You got a swim deck. You got a lounging deck. Actually toured this earlier in the week. It's really nice, really well done. And it actually has an underwater basement, but the basement's really short, so the laundry's down there, but it's like 5 feet tall. So you got to crouch to do your laundry, and then have these little stools that you can sit on and roll around on so you don't bump your head into the low ceiling. Kind of funny, but there's just tons of storage down there. For a floating home, having a lot of storage is rare. And so this home, super cool modern floating home, but also tons of storage, dedicated parking. It's a nice one. So links for all those are below. If you want to click them, check them out for more detail. If they're still in the market, happy to show them to you if you're looking to buy one. And just want to remind you, we got these home buying classes. We do 1 or 2 every month, a couple on Zoom. We're going to start doing some more in-person ones as well. Click below to sign up for that. So if you have any questions or comments, hit us up below. My contact info's there too. Feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. Hit subscribe to keep your finger on the pulse of Seattle real estate. We do a video like this every week, and then we do deep dives every month on single family homes and condos, and publish a few other videos along the way. If you made it this far, hit like. It'd help us out a ton. Thanks a lot for watching.